Hey guys, it is Jess with WatchKittyShrink, and I'm here with my week 21 post-op update. But before I get into stats or my week or anything like that, I wanted to mention the most important thing that's happened to me this week. And I wanted to mention it first because this thing means more to me than any pound or anything else. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I sometimes mention that my mama, who is like my second best friend in the whole wide world, she last year was diagnosed with breast and lung cancer and spent most of last year going through chemo and radiation treatments. And last week she had her first official PET scan since everything had stopped. And on Tuesday we went and had the results read. We was going to see, to make sure the treatments were working and see if everything was shrinking. And the news that we got is that as of right now, there are no signs of cancer in her body anywhere. So she is actually cancer free. So I've been on cloud nine ever since then. I just wanted to mention that because I know I kind of mention her sometimes and thought you all might want to know. So let's do what you all are really here for and jump into stats. I am 29 years old. I'm 5 foot tall. On August 23rd, 2016, I had a weight loss surgery procedure called vertical sleeve gastrectomy with Dr. Amy Johnson at Pikeville Medical Center in Pikeville, Kentucky. My highest weight ever was in April of 2016. It was 285.0. My surgery weight was 255.4. Last week I was 188.0, and this week I am 185.2. So that is a weekly loss of 2.8 pounds, a since surgery loss of 70.2 pounds, and get this one, guys, an overall loss of 99.8 pounds. Not that I'm not stoked for that, but really, 2 ounces away from being able to say I've lost 100 pounds. Come on, body. That's not even right. So close. But I'll hit it next week, and that'll actually be better because I have a video planned that I want to do, like a special little video, and I didn't really get time to do it this week. So we'll hit it next week, I hope. But my weekly loss, it was, what was it, 2.8? Was it? Yeah, 2.8. I'm actually thrilled with that because last week was I think it was 4.5. And normally when I have a huge loss like that, the next week is a small loss. And I consider I keep forgetting it. I consider 2.8 actually a really good loss. And that means that in the 2 weeks since I have been doing keto, I have lost 7.5 pounds. So keto's looking real good on me. Let me just grab my notes. I just have a few things I wanted to talk about. One of them, okay, I want to state first of all that I am not a drama queen. You all know me, but I've got to talk about it. And this might take a second, so I got to sit down. So, the reason that you all never really hear me talk about anything negative associated with my surgery or with the rapid weight loss or anything like that is because I haven't really had anything to happen. Knock on wood, I have just been blessed with having a good, I hate these angles, I'm sorry, with having a good surgery experience. Even right from the get-go when I woke up, I'd never had any pain or anything like that. So something did happen to me on Monday, and I'm not blaming my surgery or anything. Let me just go into what it was, and then I'll try to tell you all my theories on it. So, on Monday, I was getting ready for work. I had just got done brushing my teeth, and I was standing in the bathroom getting ready to do my makeup when I started getting really dizzy. Now, I get dizzy from time to time anyway, and that's actually kind of a rapid weight loss thing. I've heard that's pretty common. So if you are pre-op and you're watching this, don't be too freaked out if you get a little dizzy from time to time. But this was different. This was much more severe. And as I started getting dizzy, I reached out for my vanity chair because it was like I could tell I was about to fall. And here's where I swear I'm not being dramatic. I feel so silly talking about it, but it is what happened to me, and it is part of my journey. I blacked out. So I kind of like blacked out for like a second, like where I don't remember anything at all. But I do remember kind of coming to, and I couldn't see anything. My vision it wasn't blurry, it wasn't scattered. I could see nothing, complete blackness. And I was really scared, and I managed to get to my living room couch, from pure, knowing where I was. And I went and I sat down, and my mom, of course, she comes to me, she's like, "What is it?" And I'm like, "Don't panic, but I can't see." And at this point, I start shaking. Like, my hands and my legs and my arms and stuff start shaking. And I don't know if it's from what was going on or, my anxiety, because, of course, that scared me really badly. Mom ran and got me some orange juice with a straw, and I never drank from a straw since surgery. But I did this because I couldn't even hold the cup up to my lips. Like, I was really in a bad state. And so I drank that, and by the time I got the orange juice done, I felt fine. So if someone told that particular story to me, I would just assume that their sugar dropped because, orange juice has sugar in it, and, when I consumed that, I felt better. I guess it is possible that my sugar dropped, but I don't know why it would have, because, there was no change in my eating pattern as far as when I ate or anything like that, and I've not had... I'm 29 years old, and that's never happened to me before in my whole life. So, there's a couple things I thought it could be. One thing is, I definitely consume way more I burn way more calories than I eat, but that's kind of the point, so I don't think it's that. But I do burn about 3,000-ish calories a day, and I just consume about 800. So, but I really don't think it was that. There's two things I think it was. One, it could have been dehydration, because I'm really embarrassed to admit this, because I always come on here and talk about how I always hit my protein and my water goals, and I normally do always hit at least 64 ounces of water. But for some reason, this past weekend, I just really struggled. On Saturday, I think I had 30 ounces, and on Sunday, I might have drank 8 ounces of water the whole day. And there was no reason. I wasn't too busy. I was nothing. I just didn't want to, so I didn't do it. And that's embarrassing to admit, because I just feel like I'm giving you all the MySpace angle. I can't do this anymore. But that's embarrassing to admit, because I know better. I've never struggled with water in my whole life. And, I'm almost 5 months post-op. I know better than that. It's so stupid. I've been really hard on myself about it, because I really, really believe that was the biggest culprit, that I was dehydrated. The second thing is, I was watching Nirvana's video, and she had mentioned that on keto, if you don't get enough salt and stuff like that, that your blood pressure can drop. And I thought maybe that's what happened to me, that my blood pressure dropped on me, and that's why I kind of blacked out. I have a group of girls that we talk keto with, that we bounce ideas off of each other and stuff like that. And thankfully, I'm so blessed that Jody is a part of that, because number one, I love her, and number two, she's a nurse. So I always, I take everything that every girl says to heart, but when it's medical stuff and a nurse tells you, you feel a little bit better. But she had been getting dizzy too, and her heart rate got really low, and her doctor told her to increase her water. So I definitely kind of throws back to thinking that it's part of the dehydration. But I'm not talking about this to scare anybody. You might not ever black out after your surgery. It might not have a thing to do with rapid weight loss. It might really be that my sugar just randomly dropped that day. I'm not sure, but I did want to mention it because it's something that happened this week. Since then, I have been killing my water. getting like 100 ounces every single day. I have every intention of doing better. I always slack a little on the weekends. Not this weekend. I'm still going to kill the water game. I'm loving the keto life. Loving it. My energy is amazing. My mental focus is amazing. I feel great. I eat way better on keto than I did before. I feel more sustained with my food, I guess is the way to say it. But I have noticed, because your target is to try to eat more fatty foods, that my calories have been going up. I have never went over 800 calories since my surgery. Until yesterday, I think I hit 1,000 calories. And I was like, what is the deal? But it's not necessarily that I'm eating more. I can still only eat like 4 ounces at a time. It's just the food that I'm actually eating is fattier, so I guess it's more carby, or not carby, definitely not carby, but it has more calories. So I'm just trying to work my mind around that, because my mind is still in a place where I want to get very few calories. But at the same time, how am I supposed to be upset when I'm losing 7.5 pounds in 2 weeks? So I'm all about that keto life. I'm loving it. I'm loving the support. The food is the jam. I have not felt restricted once. Now, I will say I was already very low carb. So if you're going from not a low carb to this, you are going to feel restricted for a little while. So the only other thing I have listed to talk about is some NSVs I had this week that really took me off guard. That made me really happy. It was just, I've never had to have these conversations before. Mom had a conversation with me because she knows, first of all, that I can be a very obsessive person. And yes, I do obsess about the scale. Some people will tell you not to, and I'm not saying don't take that advice, but I'm also an honest person. I obsess with the scale. And most importantly, I obsess with that number on the scale going down. And so Mom had a talk with me last weekend that was like, now you do know that you do plan at some point to stop losing weight, right? She said, I'm not saying you have to now, she said, but I know how obsessive you can get. She said, you know, at a certain point, you're going to be so skinny that you're going to have to stop actively trying to lose weight. And that to me was an NSV, because I've never had to have a conversation with someone where it's a certain fact that in a certain period of time, I'm going to be what's considered skinny. Like, that was just blew my mind. And then I had a conversation with a coworker this week who was saying that I was looking so small, and she said, my coworkers are very sweet. She was like, I'm worried about you. You're not going to start, getting too small or something to that effect. And I was like, no, I have a goal in mind. My first goal is about 38 pounds away, and then my other goal is like 55-ish pounds away. And she was shocked. She was like, you do not look like you could lose 38 more pounds. And that just made me feel really good. And she might have just been being nice. But I have told you all before that I do carry my weight well. So at 185 pounds, some people would say, I don't think this, but some people would say that I look much smaller than that. My mom says that I look like I'm about a size 8 or a 10. I'm not. I'm still a 12, 14-ish. But just hearing those things really made my day, because, I'm used to the 100% opposite, and I've never been in a situation where people are worried I'm going to get too small, because, you know what I mean? It makes you feel good, because it's not what you're used to. So I guess that's really all that I have this week. I have been tagged in the post-opper to pre-opper tag, and I do plan to do it, I promise. I might film it tomorrow, but I don't know, because I have a lot going on tomorrow. So most likely I'm going to film that video on Monday, and I'll try to get it up Monday or Tuesday. But I promise I am doing it because I think it's a great idea. So I will see you guys next week, and I hope you all have a great weekend.